Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sandy, and today I first and foremost just want to say thank you to everyone who showed such wonderful support this week for my first ever original tag. I had so much fun creating it, and people have already started doing it, which is just absolutely wonderful. If you're not familiar with that video, I will leave a card up here for you so you can go and check it out. I also created a playlist with all of the creators who have already done it, and so I'll leave that linked in the description below as well. But it has been so much fun, and I just wanted to say a quick thank you because I really appreciate all of the wonderful support people gave me for that tag, as nervous as I was to create it. So for today, what I thought I would do is kind of a nonfiction November reading update and also celebrate Poetry Thursday. I don't like my glasses right now. They feel crooked. I feel crooked. Celebrate Poetry Thursday as well, and do a little thing that I am calling a book and a poem. I have one planned with a possible second, but we'll dive into the first one and see how it goes. So this book that I'm going to talk about first actually wasn't on my nonfiction TBR, of course not. I had pre-ordered this book on the recommendation of Margaret Pinard. If you're not familiar with Margaret's channel, I will leave it linked in the description for you below as well. Margaret does a lot of live shows. She's also an author. We're doing a buddy read right now of Hamnet, and I am loving being able to talk with her about that book as well. But the book that she recommended to me, I have as an ebook, which is Woodrow on the Bench by Jenna Blum. I hope that's how you say her name, Blum or Bloom, I'm not sure. But Woodrow on the Bench is basically a chronicle of Woodrow's last months on Earth, unfortunately. It's life lessons from a wise old dog. And Woodrow is a fantastic black lab, and I had a black lab growing up named Pollyanna. So for me, this was especially special. I guess that's a horrible way to say that. Is very special because of that small connection I had to a black lab. It has been obviously a number of years since I've owned a dog, but I do have quite a few dogs in my life that mean a heck of a lot to me. So this book is masterful in describing the relationship between the dog and the owner and the impact a dog can have on someone, both positive and negative things that occurred throughout Woodrow's life, also as a source of comfort when the author was going through quite a bit. Woodrow was always there. And just how much joy an animal can bring to you. There are sections in this that just made me chuckle. Woodrow, from Jenna's point of view, had a magnificent sense of humor and a great sense of comedic timing. So, from the perspective, obviously, of Jenna telling the story, but, anytime she switched into talking like Woodrow, it had a very special place in my heart. When that happened, it hit me very close to home because I always imagine that that's what some of the dogs I know do, like look up to you with just this ultimate look of trust and hope that you can fix whatever's going on, or you're the one with the food, or you're the one with the toy. And she had him give her a special name when she's talking like him, and that just made me smile and made me cry. This book is incredibly tough to get through if you are very emotional about dogs, emotional about relationships with dogs. Even now, which is 10 days later, I struggle to talk about it because it moved me quite a bit watching I don't know why I always say that. Reading about how just difficult it was to help Woodrow transition and how hard it was for her to ultimately make that last decision for Woodrow, even though his health was seriously failing. And there are a couple of things in there, like the line about, is any dog ever referred to by their own name for their life? It's something along those lines. I love that line because the two dogs that I spend the most time with, which are my friend's dogs, one, who I'll put up a picture, is named Boone. I call him Goober because he's a big goober. He really is. My friend sent me a picture of him this week where he was just sitting out in the rain for no apparent reason. Okay, they were at home. It was not like they were out somewhere and he had no choice. He could have went in, but no, he was sitting out in the rain. And then the other one, which is the dachshund, whose name is Roxy. Roxy is either known as Dork, depending on what she's doing, or Diva, because that dog is so spoiled. She has a heated bed next to the fireplace, has more than one outfit, and is just, yeah, she's a character, that one. But that kind of idea that you never call them by their own name also was one of those things that really was really special about the book and hit really close to home. I still wish I could have a dog, but don't. But this book is one that if you've recently lost a pet, it's going to be very, very hard. If you are an emotional person like me in regards to animals, it's going to be very, very hard. It is beautiful, but sad. There is no spoiling the ending. I mean, you're in the last years of Woodrow's life. And so he sounds like he was an amazing pet, an amazing companion, and it was beautiful to see the relationship on paper between Jenna and her dog. So I would recommend it if you can get past how emotional it was. I will put up a picture of me the morning I was finishing it. Yeah, I was not in good shape reading this. And so, like I said, even 10 days later, I can still get tears in my eyes really easily about this book. So know that. But thank you, Margaret, for bringing the book to my attention. I really did enjoy it quite a bit, even though it made me an emotional wreck. So, but that was the nonfiction reading. The first one. I have another one that I'm not going to talk about today because I won't have time. But the book and a poem, the poem that I'm going to share is actually from another dog lover, which is, which is actually The Ballads of Hope and Joy by JD Estrada. Look at that cover. I really need to pick up the physical version of this book because that cover just makes me so happy. It's just absolutely beautiful. But this particular book of poetry is one that Pay over at Attention kind of brought to my awareness, brought it to me as I read JD Estrada's Given to Fly back in, I think it was in June or July, and brought this book of poetry to me. And I love this book of poetry. It is all full of positivity and love and hope and joy, just like it says. It is something that if you're looking for something to help uplift you in like all of this really trying times, it is a great one for that. I am not a connoisseur of poetry. I don't read a ton of poetry. For me, this was just more about how uplifting it was. Whether or not the poems are well constructed, I don't know. And frankly, I don't know that I care. Hold on, let me wipe my tear. From under my eye. But I do love this so much. And so the poem that I have selected for today for the book and a poem is actually really fitting for Woodrow on the bench. And it is called A Furry Snuggle, so I apologize, I have to read it from here. Some people don't like dogs, but others like me do. We like them a lot. We like learning favorite spots to receive scratches. We like learning the way they like their food, the one they're supposed to eat, and the one they're not supposed to, but we eventually yield to giving them. We like chastising them half-assedly because they know how to make us forget anger and how to remember love. They can be scandalous, they can be incorrigible, they can even be prime suspects of countless shoemicides. But still, until you have a dog love you enough and trust you enough to fall asleep in your arms, you have no idea what you're missing and how deep your soul can smile. So how wonderful is that compared with Monroe? Woodrow, why did I say Monroe? Woodrow on the bench, and just how lovely that sentiment was in the combination of that book and that poem. So I highly encourage you to check out JD Estrada's books, specifically the Ballads of Hope and Joy, and his book Given to Fly, the level of positivity and support he also gives to booktubers has been really, really special, and I am absolutely thrilled that I've got to read several of his works now. So, but thank you again to Margaret Pinard. I will leave a link in the description to her video or her channel. I don't know if I can find the video that where she recommended this. If I can, I'll definitely link that. And thank you so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, everyone, thanks. Bye.